Boom! Welcome back to another episode of the Sideline View on the Fan Hoster channel. Now, people, before we get started, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and big news coming to the channel soon. Our channel rebranding is coming soon, so you will be able to find me a lot easier. We'll be having a new name and a new logo once that is up and running by my designer, because your boy got a designer now. Yeah, still not making any money from YouTube, but your boy got a designer now, so we're going to up the production. Before we get started, let me introduce the boys to the original panel. Robert, what's up?
Yo, what's good? No, I'm blessed to say the least. Chelsea's testing my patience, but I'm still blessed.
Most definitely, and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Marshall, my brother, how you doing?
Not so great. I'll be keeping it real. Real life has been stressful and a struggle. I try to get away from it by watching my Chelsea, only for them to double down. So yeah, that's how life's going.
You could be my friend Brian. He's a Chelsea fan and a Ravens fan. He's in the mud right now. He's absolutely in the mud right
It
now.
could be a lot worse here for sure.
It could definitely be a lot worse. But let's get into the discussion. Now, people, I didn't have a match review up because I had this show after, and my schedule has been jam-packed. But we'll talk about it here. And that performance was dross. That what? Wee. It's a bit better after the Bournemouth game because I guess you can say we scored a goal. But for me, the issue was we seem a bit lackluster the final third. And I'm talking about the Atalanta game. I thought we'd get the 3 points. We looked good in the first half. After we got that goal, I thought we would be comfortable. I thought we would be able to manage the match, but I was wrong. And yeah, questions need to be answered. But let me get the boys' opinion. I'll start with Marshall. Your thoughts on the first half? Your thoughts on this game?
So I'm gonna just start off by saying I have to rewatch the game because unfortunately, work did interrupt my viewing experience. We'll say I didn't get to properly watch the game until the last 30 minutes of the game. But from what I was able to watch, and I think I was able to pick up on a lot over on my channel because we did an immediate reaction. And the things that I walk away with it so far is that Enzo Fernandez, probably his worst match of the season, easily. And not only that, I think Maresca, you need to drop this man because he needs to rest. 4 games in a row. Chalobah too, by the way. The choices in that lineup, very questionable from Maresca. And I can't lie. We have to discuss this attack as well, who very lackluster attack. Just so many things that are not going right for us in terms of players being available, the schedule. It's just December. It's another December, and this time we're starting early. And at this point, Maresca, I'm asking, your first mission, stop the bleeding. We got to stop the bleeding here and now because I can't do this again like we did last season. I really can't. So for my health, for the sake of, my happiness, Chelsea, please, I beg, you must. You must get out of this December period. You really must. So please stop the misery because the game in itself, when I'm analyzing it from what I was able to tell, first 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes or so, it's the home team. They're always going to come out with energy and really try us. And we were able to negate them and suppress them enough, right? So we were able to nullify them. Great block from Achimpong to start off the match in the beginning of the match. And then once we finally found our rhythm and found our feet, it's about getting the attack going. And luckily, Reece James gets a moment. João Pedro, who very much was desperately in need of a goal, gets his first UCL goal. And we're thinking, okay, it's hunky-dory from here. We were controlling the game. Let's keep at it the way we were. We go into the second half, and Atalanta come out, sparks flying. And unfortunately, I think I think Chalobah coming off did impact the game to an extent. The first goal, you know what? I can't blame it on one single person, but I can say the center back pairing, you got to do better about knowing who's behind you, who's around you, and marking that and stopping that, whether it be Achimpong or whether it be Fofana. Achimpong, you had a front row seat of what was going on, but meanwhile, Fofana, you were the closest to it. So you guys need to communicate. You guys need to say something, right? So we could see that to Skamaka. Fair enough. I can't get too mad about it. Second goal, brother, what are we doing? Like, we need to defend better. We need to not be letting Atalanta do this. Why can't we control the game like we did in the beginning of the game? Why are we giving them so many chances? I think our midfield is suffering right now to an extent, even though we have Caicedo there. When that's great that we have Caicedo, but it's not just Caicedo. We need Enzo to step up too. We need our João Pedro to step up too. We need these Gittins today. Where were you? Where were you? You came here at a hefty price tag with a big reputation. You gotta live up to that. And I'm sorry, like Maresca, Cucurella's been struggling. I'm not gonna lie to you. These last few performances,
he just needs a rest.
You have Hato. Why don't you play Hato? You have Andre Santos. Why aren't you giving Andre Santos a shot? He's got fresh legs. Why is Esteval on the bench? He's missed the last 2 games. So, like, I'm looking at the manager. I'm looking at the quality of the players right now and how they're not stepping up. Maybe it's a mentality thing. Maybe it's bad recruitment. Robert would disagree with me. It's from the bottom up. It's just not looking good. It's just not looking good. And I need this to change because, again, I need show me proof that this is going to be an improvement from last season. Because right now, I'll be honest, boys, like it's not looking like we're improving too much.
Robert?
Yeah, I agree with most of what Marshall said, but I think for me, this game is purely on Maresca. Yet again, I've been saying it for a while. He's an exceptional manager when it comes to big games, but to manage the games before, like the game before the big game and the game one, Cucurella was poor. Enzo, João Pedro, I know he scored a goal, but his hold-up play was atrocious. Neto and Gittins and Garnacho were all poor all together. And when all your players are poor in one game, and not just one game, they were all poor against Leeds, right? We weren't great. They were all not great against Bournemouth. When all your players are all subpar, and you have world-class players, these are world-class players, right? World-class players all are subpar in the same game. 3 games run back to back to back. That's on the manager. Because that's important. The probability of that happening is slim to none. That all your best players will be out of form all at the same time? All in the same game? No way.
I think it's a mixture of both. And I genuinely believe it's a case where both have to do better. And I'm looking at the Bournemouth game and the Atalanta game more recently, right? I think it's a genuine case that some of the players have to do better. We were draws from midfield to attack in the Bournemouth game. Granted, I think we were good defensively, but this game, some of these João Pedro, after you scored that goal, you went missing, bro. Right? We didn't. Enzo Fernandez, you had 2 1-on-1s that you didn't outpace your man. You didn't look over your shoulder. You weren't physical to protect the ball. You didn't take a shot. You gotta do better. You know, Pedro Neto, you have to do better. You do something before you can start doing better. Build a level before we can say you can do better than that. You know, so I think it's genuine. It's a genuine case where I'm kind of more looking at the player side. Yes, Maresca can make better subs. Yes, Maresca can do better with rotation. But at some point, these players have to stand up. You know what? These 2 games that stood out to me. While I do think we have quality players in the squad, I don't think we have the quality, or at least it's not there where our player is going to be like, okay, everybody is playing subpar. I'm going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and drag us over the line to kind of get everybody else up to another level. You're telling me we don't have one person that's going to take on that responsibility?
See, this is the thing. Football doesn't work like that anymore. Football doesn't be like, give the ball to Eden Hazard and he will go and do something. Give the ball to that people the football today is about structure. Like KDB wasn't just gonna go into a pep system and do whatever he wants,
No,
right? Odegaard, Saka, they can't just go in and do whatever they want. Like Esteval, as talented as he has to adhere to the manager's instructions. And if the manager says this game, I need you to just stay on the touchline, whether you like it or not, that's what the manager wants. That's what the manager's game
but
plan
that's
is.
not what that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go against the manager's instructions. I'm saying if there's a situation on the pitch, much like Bournemouth, where you need a goal, you gotta say, you know what, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit as long as the risk is not too detrimental to the team, because we were defending well against Bournemouth. I just wanted a bit more personality up there, someone to say, you know what, I'm gonna take more shots because the time is running. I'm not saying throw the, you get what I'm trying to say, Robert? I'm not saying for 90 minutes go against the manager, but the last 10, 20, you up your game, you try to make something happen. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I saw Enzo Fernandez do it, trying to take the game was against Bournemouth, and he decided to
Yeah,
shoot
but
the
it
short
shouldn't
pass
be
to
him one.
Esteval,
That's my
and
point.
everybody was crushing on him because he decided to shoot and take the matters into his own hand.
And I
And
didn't have a
people
problem with
questioning
that.
on him still.
I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about what the team needs. The team needs someone like that, but that's going to actually do it. Not just try and try and try. And it shouldn't be him alone. Pedro Neto, you got GNA. People like to defend you. Do better. Not because you have GNA, you should just stop. If you're the only one getting GNAs, keep getting GNA. Let this other. Am I lying, Marshall? Am I asking for too much?
I mean, at this point, I'll take the results. I was happy at the end of November when we were getting the results, and maybe the like Burnley, for example. I didn't care that we didn't play well. I liked the fact that we got the points done. We got the deed done when we were 10 men down to Arsenal. Listen. I'll take that point considering the context, and I'll be proud of the performance. So I was convinced that going into December, we were going to continue having the good performances with the results. And right now, I'm getting neither. I'm sorry. Like, and what's letting me down is I think to an extent, I can't be overcritical at the same time, because let's be honest, guys, injuries are a factor. As much as we want to say, oh, don't use the excuses and this and that, injuries are a factor. You look at Arsenal right now and their current form, they've significantly dropped because they just started getting injuries to their center backs. 2 wins in their last 5 in the Prem. You look at Man City, they're just getting back players. Rodri's coming back and Cherky's back now. And look at their form. They've gone up. You look at Liverpool and just how bad they look in general because of the whole situation they have with Slot and the team building, right? But and us too, like I don't want to, like, again, disregard certain things, right? And some of the things that Maresca has done that doesn't help his case. But I'm sorry, I look at that midfield and I feel like they are depleted. I feel like the midfield is just running on fumes again. I feel like we're in the same situation we were last season. Why? Because Lavia's never fit. Why? Because unfortunately Dario Sugo wasn't available. So now we're counting on Santos to rotate. Moises Caicedo gets himself sent off and suspended. Thankfully for him, that's good for him. He needs rest now, right? He needs to play less games so he can heal. But that's a big part of our midfield. In the Premier League, we're not going to have him for Everton. I'm worried about Everton now without Moises Caicedo. Like, it's the availability of players in that midfield that aren't helping his case. But also, Bournemouth. Brother, the defense did their job. The one thing that all of us criticized here in the beginning of the season was that defense. Tosin and all the Chalaba and all this. I'm not going to lie. Everyone barring Tosin seem to have stepped it up and said, you know what, enough funny business. Let's start to defend. We kept a clean sheet against Bournemouth. I don't care what anyone says. Where is my attack? Because if I keep them at 0 attack, you have to get a goal at least and win us that game 1-0. So now I'm looking at, Delap. I'm looking at João Pedro. I'm looking at, listen, I know we haven't had Cole Palmer, but we should be winning these games without Cole Palmer. There's just so many things. Like I hate to go off the topic, but there's just so many problems right now, and it's
there really is. let's talk about some of these players. And I
Sure.
want to start with Delap, and I want to get Robert's
Yeah.
opinion on Delap. I think Delap is more so concerned with tussling with center backs than actually playing his game. You saw it when he just came back from injury. He got sent. He got sent off. You saw it in the following game. He did get a goal against Barcelona, and then you're seeing it now where he was tussling with center backs and got himself injured. I think if he focuses on his game, the physicality that he's looking for, it will come because the center backs will have to address him versus him addressing the center backs. And his hold-up play has been poor. He hasn't been taking enough shots on goal, and he's just been used as a bulldozer or a battering ram. So this return wasn't the return that these Chelsea fans was hoping for. And again, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. What are your thoughts on the striker's position in terms of the lap? And I know you bring in Jackson here, so I'll just let you have the floor, Robert.
Yeah, man. This is what I was telling people since the summer, and I criticized the sporting directors when they let Jackson go, right? And also for Maresca to just be okay. I know people are gonna say, "Oh no, it doesn't do Maresca. It didn't, you know." But for me, is the reason Jackson is no longer here is because he fell out with Maresca. Maresca didn't want to put his arm around him and to make sure that he was on side. The moment Dilap and Joao Pedro came into the club, Maresca was very quickly to dismiss Jackson, and that's fine. That's fine. You dismiss Jackson, and Maresca has been touting Dilap ever since Dilap was still at Ipswich, right? And now you bring Joao Pedro and Dilap here. Number one mistake that he made, he misprofiled Joao Pedro and called him a number 9, right? So, our sporting director say, you know what? Now we need a backup. Now we have a number 9. We need a backup 10. So that's why we go for a hunt for Bonanote, right? And then Maresca changed his mind before the season starts. But you know what? Actually, Joao Pedro is not a number 9, so I need another number 9. By that time, he had fell out with Jackson, and Jackson was there. In my mind, I told people this all summer long. Liam Delap is not yet a better striker than Jackson. He just isn't. What Jackson brings to this team, the hold-up play, the dribbling, the ball carrying, all of us know that he's not a good ball striker. He's not a good finisher. But everything else that Jackson was giving to this team, the pressing, the ball, the ball carrying, the dribbling, the link-up play, the pass in the final third, the IQ to execute those passes. Like
Yeah,
we miss it.
he
I'm watching Joao Pedro. I'm watching Liam Delap, and the ball is not sticking to any of them. Anybody like
Joe Pedro could have played
when
up
Joao
front and
Pedro
Jackson played in behind as the 10, if that's the case.
when Joao Pedro was receiving the ball today, it's like when he received he hold that play, he keeps on dropping too deeper, deeper, and deeper, and deeper. Jackson, what I liked about Jackson is he will get it, spin the center back, and move. We are running at the defense already. But with Joao Pedro, we keep dropping down, down, and now the ball goes back to Sanchez. And that's not the point, right? With Delap, as you say, he's more interested in wrestling. And the centre backs, even the game against Bournemouth, like he's losing his individual battles, and then start putting fingers in people's eyes and start kicking people in the back of the knee, and the ball is clear in the box. He's still wrestling with the centre back, and then he falls over on his shoulder and injures his shoulder. That's just stupidity, right? Maybe as he came in and with the hypo, I'm gonna be the next Chelsea number 9, and the curse of number 9 is hit him at Chelsea Football Club. That you just can't. You're just not gonna. Mentally, he's just not strong enough to withstand being a Chelsea number 9. Because from what I've seen, my guy, like if he flicks the ball onto his side, people are gonna praise him all over X. Like like Jackson used to do 5, 10 of these every game, and you all got tired of it. Dilap does one now because you're craving it so much. Now we have to praise it. Things we were cussing Jackson out for, right? And now we have to praise Dilap because it's so rare that we don't see it anymore. When the ball comes to him and they pass it to another Chelsea player, oh my God, look at that, what Dilap just did. Like Jackson was doing it every single game.
Brother, this
Was
should
doing
be
this every
regular.
single game. We're creating chances. I know he wasn't burying the chances, but we were creating the multitude of chances that at least even if it doesn't fall to Jackson, it will fall to Guerra, it will fall to Enzo Fernandez, it will fall to somebody. I just haven't seen like and I'm one of those that wanted Dilap to be I wanted him as a competition to Jackson. I wanted Dilap over Oshiman, right? But so far, I just think he's playing in his head too much. Just like brother, trust in your ability, do what you can, what you're good at, and leave the oh you the next Diego Costa. No, you are Liam Delap. Stop trying to be the next Diego Costa. You're never gonna be Diego Costa. Be Liam Delap, and acknowledge that you are playing for Chelsea Football Club. You're not playing for Ipswich anymore, where you have room to run for days
Yeah, you
and
don't need
space to
to
run
fight.
into.
You don't need to fight.
You don't need to like right now, right here, right now. You don't have enough time to hold on to the ball at Chelsea Football Club because you play low block. At Ipswich, you're playing on the counter, so it was like Gyökeres in Portugal. In Portugal, just give you the ball, and you have acres of space to run into. At Chelsea is different. So play your game, adjust, and let your ability shine. Don't let your thuggery and you trying to act like you own this, and then
A
you
hard
you
one.
trying to you trying to be a bully, and you get bullied in an injury that takes you out for 4 weeks. That's half the season. You've been injured. Like you play what? How many games you played? And now you're injured for half the season. You're gonna be gone. By the time you come back, you're gonna have to try and acclimate yourself back again. And by that time, we're in April,
And your season's done.
and the season's done. And now we're gonna be like, well, the Lapis had this season. Now we're gonna give him a second season, like we did Jackson. And then if you start slow next season, everybody's gonna be like, you know what? Sell him.
Yep. Especially if you continue the same nonsense next season.
That's what I
Marshall.
said. That's what I'm saying. I'm willing to pen an apology letter to Jackson and beg this brother to return to Chelsea Football Club as soon as possible. As soon as you're done with AFCON, Jackson, I'm begging you, please come back. Maresca should do it. The sporting director should do it. Everybody at Chelsea should. I don't think Jackson has a problem with players. I think he actually got along with players. Caicedo say it was his best friend in the dressing room, right? So if we can keep Palmer's best friend in Tosin, who's atrocious, we might as well bring Caicedo's best friend. At least he's useful. It's something.
Yeah.
Right?
Marshall, your thoughts?
So
I listen with the lap. I agree with everything Robert said. There's no argument for me there. The only thing with the lap is that I am willing, as a fan, to be patient with him for certain reasons. I think, obviously, one big factor is the fact that, in my opinion, I think Maresca's system does take new players a little bit to adapt to.
that's true.
We've seen it with Malo Gusto. We've seen it with Reece James. People want to forget. Reece James at the beginning of last season didn't look that great, right? But he was another one. Enzo. Moises didn't look that great in the beginning of last season. I mean, all these players take some time to acclimate and adapt to the system. So I'm willing to even wait. And people want to say, oh, but the youth system. We need to stop pretending that Maresca is the same manager he was when he was in Man City's youth system. Like, let's stop doing this. He's grown, he's changed, he's not going to have the same exact tactics every single time. These people also mature. So I refuse to believe that Delap already knows the system. No, that's nonsense. That's one factor. I think the other thing is this man's only played less than 500 minutes. He's played 500 minutes for us at Chelsea since the season started. That's nothing. That's like that's what about 5 90-minute games.
Yeah, well, 4 games.
Yeah, it's not really not much. It's really not much. So in 4 games, I don't know what people want exactly from the lap to really do. And the 20 goals in 4 games, is that what you want? 10, 5?
Games,
Like
5 games.
it's just, I get it. It's frustrating to watch him play and do what he's doing, but you also got to take into account. I looked into it, right? I was doing this research while Rob was talking. The best game I would say the lap has had with Chelsea this season was against West Ham. Guess who started that game?
Esteval,
Yep.
Neto.
Esteval, Neto,
You
João
could have
Pedro.
just stopped at Esteval. He has not started with a creative player since that game. And when you're not giving the lap chances, when Cole Palmer's not there to lay it on the plate for you, and when Esteval's not there to lay it on the plate for you, I don't know how you expect to get goals. I'll be so real. When most of the time when Neto's on there, he's crossing at far posts for Cucurella or Gittins. Gittins there, he's doing the same thing on the other side. That's how he got the goal with Neto. Like,
You're right.
no one is going through the middle.
Because I remember in I think it was Bournemouth when Cole Palmer would play the ball into Dillard. Dillard looked way better, especially going
He did.
forward.
He would find the runs. Even Sanchez would find the runs sometimes. Now, the lap doesn't help himself either. Let's just be real. He doesn't help himself because sometimes he's passing when he should be shooting. He's shooting when he should be passing. And when you are shooting, when you should be shooting, you're not getting it on target, my friend. So at the same time, I can't be that sympathetic to you because the striker's job is to get goals. You are a striker. You play like a traditional striker. That means you're not going to get as many chances either. Because last I checked, Isak didn't get too many chances last season. But when Jacob Murphy laid it on the plate for him and he had a shot, he took that chance.
You know, my problem is like a striker in a Maresca system is not, because if that's what I thought we was gonna use the lap for,
Yeah.
then I would have preferred Oshman, because for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
a striker in the Maresca, the reason I was so against selling Jackson is that the volume of chance that gets created with Jackson, right? Even though he will miss them, right?
Yeah.
But Palmer gets more chances. You know, Enzo Fernandez gets more chances. You know, the winger Neto gets more chances. The Garnacho gets more chances. All originate from Jackson ability to hold that play, link up play, dribble, run with the ball, and all of that. Because the defense has to overreact to Jackson ball carrying, and so when they converge into Jackson, Jackson usually will lay it over to Neto like he did in the Club World Cup, right? He's done it countless times against he did for against Bournemouth. And laid off to Cole Palmer. He did again last season, the season before in Punch, when to Cole Palmer against Luton. Like we've seen him, against West Ham last season when he scored those 2 goals. Like Jackson, like the striker for me in the Maresca system is more of a facilitator, somebody that facilitates the chance creation, right? You don't necessarily have to be the best finisher in the Maresca system, but you need to be one that facilitates the volume of chance creation, right? And I don't think the lab does that really. Like we're not talking about, oh, nobody's creating chances for the lab. Were we talking about nobody's creating chances for Jackson? No, because they were just the volume was there that Jackson was. We were lamenting that you're getting so many things, but you're missing them. Yes, but we were creating those many chances. He was getting those many chances because of his play, right? And Delap, unfortunately, because he's not getting involved into the game and he's not doing the link-up play, the things on the ball enough, then we see him like, oh, but nobody's creating chances for him. No, it's in the Maresca system, in my opinion, the striker, you are one of the chief chance creators in this team. Like you are. I don't think an Osimhen can ever work in the Maresca system. Like you are a Bobby Firmino, right? Ideally, right? The ideal Maresca system player will be a Bobby Firmino. You are a Bobby Firmino. Basically, you are a pressing demon. You are a link-up play machine. You are a ball carrying. You are a person that you're a good dribbler and all that. That is what Delap was supposed to do because that's what he was doing at Ipswich, right? And now you get to Chelsea. Now he's not doing all of that outside the box good enough. And now we're saying, but nobody's creating chances for him. We're not crossing the ball not good enough for Delap. Well, if I wanted somebody to cross the ball too, I would have been like, yo, give me Osimhen. Delap is not good enough for that. I would want to get Osimhen. If I wanted the striker all his job is create chances for me, I'm gonna bury them for you. Yeah. Then I would have been like, you know what? Osimhen is a far better option. Samu is a far better option, right? Than Delap would have been. But the idea behind Delap is that you do what Jackson does outside of the box, but also you are good in the box.
Inside,
You help create the chance, but you're also good at burying the chance. which is what we were criticizing Justin for. You are so good at creating the chances, but you are missing them when they actually fail
So
to you in
it
the
was a
box.
catch-22. It was a catch-22. You
Yeah,
give us
but we
one
saw
thing.
Delap as kind of solving both.
Yeah.
We still have the Jackson outside the box stuff with Delap, but also inside the box, you're a better finisher.
And
But
it's
then
not.
Delap now doesn't get the outside the box thing, and now we start crying, well, but nobody's creating chances for him. Nobody's
Yeah.
doing this for him. But no. He's supposed to be the trigger in the chance creation, and everybody just facilitate around him.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Delap is not doing that.
Yeah, I agree. And let's talk about João Pedro. João Pedro, he's just been missing in the final third, in my opinion. Either I don't know if he's carrying something or he's not adding. I don't know what's going on. If he's not missing, he's holding on to the ball too long. If he's not holding on to the ball too long, his passing is horrendous. If his passing is not horrendous, he's not getting into position that he should be in. What is going on with João Pedro?
I think
I'll start
you said
with you,
it.
Marshall.
I think you said it without saying it. And the problem is, what didn't you mention? I think you didn't mention shooting.
He doesn't shoot enough.
He does not shoot. My brother wants to do the extra pass, the extra. This is the same thing that we were complaining about Jadon Sancho doing last season. You beat the man, you want to beat the man again. It's like, brother, you're in a goal-scoring position.
But you can kill the man, but you can't kill the idea.
And the idea is in there because, like, listen, João Pedro, I gave you praise for the beginning of the season and how you played, and rightfully so. You played brilliantly. You helped us win that Club World Cup. You were a big part of that. And shout out Alexis, because Alexis said, don't show me energy that you can't keep up.
Don't introduce me to a vibe that you can't maintain.
Do not introduce me to a vibe you cannot maintain. And brother, that is the vibe that you are not maintaining right now. And I said in the beginning of the season, right? Like, listen, the season's still long. He could always turn it around. You know what kind of a Chelsea fan I am. I'm never gonna, be definite about this team and speak in conclusively, right? I'm not going to say the season's done. The season can turn around. I said it last season. I'm going to say it again. The season can turn around. We'll see. It's very long. But with João Pedro, I said this in the beginning of the season. I saw the player I saw last season. I'm not going to overhype it and say off the bat, signing of the season. You remember the beginning of the season? Everyone was saying already, signing of the season. He's our best player. All this and that.
I tried to let it go. I couldn't.
Yeah, I know. All this and that. But now look at it. Now people want him gone. Now people are saying he looks horrible. He's our worst player. All this and that. Listen, right now he's in bad form, but he needs to shoot. The same problem I've had with other strikers in our team. You need to shoot. Jadon Sancho, you weren't shooting enough. Now that's why you're not in the team anymore. Also, the wages and all the other stuff, but we'll discuss that another time.
Jadon Sancho screwed us over. We could have kept Jadon Sancho and not have to deal with Gittins or Garnacho, just one of the two.
Oh my God.
Shorty was calling. Shorty was calling.
Let's not do Jadon Sancho.
Shorty was calling.
He's not, to be fair, he's not been doing all that Villa either, so maybe we dodged him too.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I at this point, like, just play Guiu, man. Give Guiu a chance. If he's playing with injury, if João Pedro's playing with injury, then let him rest. I think also the other thing, too, that I'm going to mention, just the last thing. It's hard to really judge as well for me because I have this looming caveat. Cole Palmer. And We've come to this point of the season, Javon, where we've gotten this far without Cole Palmer, and he's coming back, and he's right around the corner. And I'm curious to see what happens now when he's back in the fray. Do we turn it around? Do we stay this bad? Are we like if we had Cole Palmer this whole season? How different does our season look? What different conversations are we having at this point? How bad do these other players that we've been criticizing look? So,
I mean, if we have a fully fit Cole Palmer, I think we'd be more clinical in some of the games, i.e. Bournemouth. I.e. Bournemouth. I know that's one, maybe Brighton. But then again, some of the other issues might arise. I don't know. It's really hard to answer because I'd like to think with a Cole Palmer, a Esteban, and a João Pedro up front, that's more creativity. But then does the introduction of a fully fit, fully ready to go Cole Palmer changes the form of a João Pedro?
I think when you look at how he was scoring for us in the beginning of the season or even in Club World Cup, I think Cole Palmer's a big factor in all that.
I'm not
You
saying
know,
no. Go ahead, Robert.
you know what? Like, you know that system that we played in the Club World Cup, the two inside forwards.
Yeah, bring it back, bro. Bring it back.
Like, is for
Oh
this
yeah,
again? This is the Maresca system.
I totally forgot about
Is that
that.
only exclusive to when
Think
Cole
him.
Palmer plays? Right? If we
You know, you
if we
might
still
be
match this
cooking
season,
something, though. You
if we
might have
still in
cooked
this
something,
season at
though.
all, that inside forward, has he done it with Enzo Fernandez and
And Joe, because he
I
could do
think
him, Enzo Fernandez, because he could do Esteval, Enzo Fernandez, and Joe Pedro. Because remember, there was no recognized striker; they just rotated up top.
yeah, because this season, right? This season,
yeah.
we've played with two wingers each game, right?
Yeah,
But when we play that in that inside the two inside forwards, system, right?
with Gusto overlapping.
We will play a fullback with overlap, and then
Yeah,
the other
it
side,
would be Gusto giving the width.
Gusto giving the width, and then Neto
Kukurea
on
top.
the other side giving the width,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then Enzo is just sitting deep and does the box crushing things, from and run the play from deep. We haven't seen that yet, right? So I'm wondering if that's just exclusive to when Cole Palmer is in the
Fit.
squad. Right?
The
Now the thing with Joao Pedro for me is, yeah, he doesn't shoot very 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 much. He has never been a volume shooter. You need to understand that you're a Chelsea Football Club, so you gotta
Yeah,
take
that
take
needs to be
shots.
improved.
That needs
We're
to
not
improve
saying
on.
we're not saying if you
Yeah,
used to take
my
if you used to take 5, go 20,
my
but bring it to
problem
10, 15.
my problem with Joao Pedro is that I do rate the player highly, and I think Maresca, again, as I go back to Maresca, has not done him justice, right? I think Maresca has failed in giving him a consistency in a role. This week he'll play as a 9, next week he'll play as a 10. He'll play 9 here, he'll play 10. He will start the game as a 9, as a 10, then he will finish the game as a 10, right? Or he'll start as a 10 and finish the game as a 9. And then next to him is gonna be, it's Gittins and Esteval. Then it's Garnacho and Neto. Then it's Gittins and Neto. Then it's Garnacho and Esteval. Like there's no consistency in building chemistry with anyone and developing like that sense of I know once I get the ball here, Esteval is on his bike already because we have that understanding, right? There's no like I think what's killed our attack is there's no chemistry because they keep
That's a
on
big part of
changing.
it.
They keep on changing. Every game is I don't know the last time we won 3 games with the same set of wingers.
Facts.
I don't know when's the last time we played 3 straight games with the same exact attacking lineup. It's always something changed. Like, what was the point in rotating Garnacho today? Why? Why did we start getting over Garnacho?
Yeah. And on
Why?
performances,
For just
Garnacho has
what?
been the better one.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the rotations that puzzle me. It's like why? Just give one player. If you choose that Gittins is your man, give Gittins 5 games straight.
You give him
Build
a good run,
chemistry
a proper
with
run.
Gittins, Joao Pedro, and if it's Neto or Esteval. If it's Garnacho that you think that's my number one winger, then let Garnacho build the chemistry
Momentum.
with Neto and Joao Pedro and whoever the striker is with Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo behind him, or Reece James, or whatever the case may be. Let the players build chemistry. If you keep on every single week, it's a different set of wingers, it's a different formation. It's Enzo Fernandez in number 10, and then Joao Pedro in number 9, then Joao Pedro in number 10, Dilap in number 9, or Guiu, or sometimes, Tariq George in number 9, Joao Pedro in number 10. Enzo Fernandez there's too much.
Yeah,
There's nobody that has understanding of each other's game.
yeah,
Nobody.
yeah,
Now when you watch, for instance, Arsenal play, Odegaard, it's like with Saka, it's like clockwork. Like he knows, he knows Saka is waiting for me. I'm waiting for Saka to make an exact move so I can trip the ball and leave for him. It's like quick understanding, right? If they're deep and they see, he sees, I got a ball. Martinelli's already on his bike because it's understanding. There's chemistry there, right? There's chemistry there. For us, there is none. We haven't had time to build that chemistry within our players, amongst our players. And that's again on the manager because he wants to change and rotate too much.
Yeah, I agree. The manager is doing too much, and there's 2 points that you mentioned that I'll touch upon and one of the main points is the chemistry. You are 110% right when you said there's no chemistry going forward. I understand you have to rotate, but it shouldn't be December and we don't have a clear best
We don't have a
starting
clear
4-3.
We don't have a clear
clear
attack.
It's December and we're still wondering who's our best left winger or who. Let's not say best. Let's say who's our most consistent starting left winger. The Estevao Neto thing. I'm not going to touch that because the kid's 18, right? So there's going to be rotation on that side. So Pedro Neto will probably play majority of the games. But that left hand side is still a question mark. You haven't figured out the best way and how to utilize Joao Pedro. Whether it's at the 9 and okay, if Joao Pedro plays as a 9, I need to utilize Gittins more, or I need to utilize Garnacho more on that left hand side, and I know how to position Enzo Fernandez in the 3 in the midfield. You don't know, okay, maybe if I'm going to use Pedro Neto Joao Pedro as a number 9, I need to go with a midfield 3, a flat midfield 3. Instead of playing Enzo Fernandez as an out and out playing 10, let me use him as an 8 instead to box scratch. It's December and there's still questions over that for Maresca. And another thing as well. Your rotations are killing the team. And I'll say this, people. You're seeing Gusto in the 10, you're seeing Cooker in the 10. Maresca's been doing this for time. You're only making a huge note of it now because it's not working anymore or it's ineffective. Let me not say not working, it's ineffective and we're losing games. This should not be a talking point. Because when I tried to bring it up, oh, shut up, Javon, it's working. Don't bring it up now when it's not working. You understand? And the last point, Maresca, you have a winning formula in using the 2 inside 10s. Go back to that. You need an extra 10, use Andre Santos. You don't know what Joao Pedro is? Hold on, you don't know what Joao Pedro is? Use him as one of the inside 10s. Use Neto. Neto can play fast 9. Use him as an inside 10.
No. See, no, that's it. This is another thing. My other grab with Maresca is this. Why, like today, right? We all recognize it's just for the sake. Rich James is the best right back in the world, right? If you ask me, Gusto, best backup right back in the world, right? Joshua Chempong, as far as young academy up and coming right backs, probably up there. We finished the game with the best right back in the world on the pitch. In my opinion, the best backup right back on the pitch, and none of them played right back.
Stop manufacturing mistakes.
None of them played right back. You have Buonanotte on the bench, who's a natural number 10.
Play him in the 10.
Why is Gusto playing 10? Right? Why is Gusto playing number 10 when you have Buonanotte on the bench? Why is Enzo Fernandez playing with number 10 when you have a natural number 10 in Buonanotte on the bench? And if you're going to use Buonanotte, Estevao has told you 10 I can play. That's my
But you see, but this is the problem that Maresca has, and you guys, in the span of 10 minutes, you contradicted yourselves, because at the same time you're asking for chemistry to be built and consistency with the starting. He doesn't know his best 11, and then I have Robert here saying, "Bring on Buonanotte from Malo Gusto." Who plays more games? Who's more familiar with the team and the system? Malo Gusto.
Yeah, but Malo Gusto shouldn't be playing out of position in the team to get the best out of him.
But what is chemistry? Is chemistry the familiarity with the position that you play? Is it familiarity with the players that you're playing with and knowing what they're going to do at what time?
So chemistry is both. Chemistry is playing your best position and how you playing your best position and affect your teammate in their best position and how you connect with them. So if Reece James' best position is right back, guess what? He should build that chemistry with the best right winger that's there at the club at the time.
But it wasn't that long ago where we were saying Reece James the best midfielder against a Declan Rice.
But that was a one-off game. That's not consistently his play.
You don't even have to buy into that. Even Malo Gusto, when we were saying, look at how many games we don't win without Malo Gusto. Like,
Yes.
these are. I still hold, and I said this last season, I still hold that football is now changing, right? Not because of rotation. I think rotation is a must to an extent because the fixtures are thick and fast. We can have complaints about FIFA and UEFA and how they want to set up and make profit off of playing players to the ground, right? We can agree on that, and there's that to manage. But I also think, to an extent, the way we use players, the way football is evolving, is not about positioning. It's not about, oh, you play striker, you play striker. Oh, you're a winger, you play winger. Oh, you're right back, you play right back. I'm sorry. Players, as they adapt and grow and mature, they change positions. They become more aware of their surroundings. They become a higher quality. They become more versatile, right? There are players that started their careers off at right wing and then go on to become one of the best strikers in the world. Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, the game adapts. And at some points, when you're a manager, you need to figure out who are my best players. Just football. Bet, like Reece James, we know in this team, the most balanced player in the team. He can do everything. But I have Garnacho, who is a winger, who can only play in the left wing and do this, and he's limited. But this man can play, and I need him to be in this game. How do I implement all these players and try to get my best players on the pitch?
You play your best players on the pitch. Okay,
you,
cool.
You do, but not all your best players can fit because you need a player at right back. You need a player at center mid, and I don't have this center mid. So you manage it, and I need Reece James to play in this game. So how am I going to shoehorn him in?
You can play Reece James at right back and Andre Santos in the middle of the park.
But at the same time, yeah, you could do that, right? But at the same time, we see how good Malo Gusto has been for us this season so far. How do you get Malo Gusto and Reece James in the pitch at the same time?
You don't have to get him on the pitch at the same time. That's the thing.
So you don't get the result against Liverpool then?
I'm not saying you cannot do it as a one-off, but in terms of consistency, and I don't like how people fall into this realm of, okay, we have multiple best players, just chuck them onto the pitch in whatever position and let them figure it. That's not
whatever position either. That's a reductionist way of looking at my argument. I'm just saying you have to adapt your game as well.
I understand that, Marshall, but what I'm saying is I don't want us to fall in a trap where you go down that road, because you know what's going to happen? There's going to be a game where both of them get injured, and the first thing you're going to say to me, you're not going to say, oh, we had a player that can play in, you're not going to say to me, we had a player that was a right back that can play in midfield, that was playing in midfield and got injured there. You're not going to say, or backup player that is a right back that got injured, can't play in midfield no more. The first thing that's going to come out of your mouth is, we had two right backs and both of them got injured because they were on the pitch at the same time.
That's not what I'm going to say, because at the same time, before you go, Robert.
Let me finish. My point is, I understand that we have quality, but we can have a quality squad. I'm not saying you cannot implement these things for one-off games, but it should not be the norm. If Reece James is quote-unquote the right best...
Unfortunately, it is the norm.
If Reece James is quote-unquote the best right back in the world, play him in his best position. And then, if needs be, you have proper rotation with him and Gusto. If you need to put him in the middle of all right, cool. All right, now would be the time you play both, because guess what? Caicedo got himself sent off, and Reece James brings midfield stability. I hear it. But when Caicedo's back, go back to the rotation. Or even in some games where you need that overlap and you don't want to give that to Reece James, play Gusto. Reece James can't play 3 games a week in this hectic period anyways. So this is where proper rotation comes in.
I just, before you go, Robert, just real quick, I disagree, because the same thing that we're complaining about, playing players out of position, I'm sorry to tell you, Pochettino did it, Graham Potter did it, Tuchel did it, Lampard, many managers before him did
Tuchel did it with who?
Callum Hudson-Odoi, right wing back. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, right wing back.
Right wing back you're still playing right wing. You just have more defensive duties.
Days. We're not doing Pulisic at right wing when he's supposed to be a left winger. Like
I give it up.
Kai Havertz is
Pulisic
now a striker.
plays both wings though. It still plays right wing.
Not then. That's what I'm telling you. Players grow up. Players adapt. They become more malleable. They can play more different positions. Why do you think Maresca wants players that can play multiple positions?
No. I get that. I'm just saying, Not because you have two right backs means you have to put them in the team every single game. You get what I'm
Listen,
saying?
you're focused on just the right back situation, and I get that, but like again, like the other thing, not to focus on Reese, but like the other thing is too, Reese just can't do it. I'm sorry, like
True.
he just can't. He just
True.
can't. He just
No,
can't.
see,
You're right. You're right.
Marcel, I think you find yourself. I get your point, but I think
Yeah.
this is what is hampered Maresca, because he saves those players for the big games, right? He will save Malo Gusto, Rich James, all of them. So when you watch a Bayern Munich, for instance, right? That was everybody was fit, bar Dilap, right? But you can say that's our strongest lineup, right? I think it was Neto, was Esteval, was I think Joao Pedro, Cole Palmer started there, Enzo, Caicedo, Gusto,
Bruce James.
Obviously Bar the centre back, was Tosin and Trev, but okay, the centre back you can go back to Trevor Fofana or Fofana Badiashile or whatever the case may be. That's our strongest lineup, right? Now, what Maresca has failed for, in my opinion, is that the game before Bayern was Brentford. Guess what? He played no right back. He started with Fofana at right back, right? Consequently, because he played Wesley Fofana at right back that game,
Concussion. That injury.
Wesley Fofana, first of all, couldn't play against Bayern Munich. That's a sidebar. Second of all,
Side effect.
you play both your players, and obviously in Maresca's mind, both gotta play 90 minutes, right? And so not only you don't play them against Brentford, where you drop points, and now comes United after that. Now they both can start, because now you have to rest one, because one probably went into the red for how intense that game was, for all the running in that game. So Gusto didn't start against United, for instance. He had to come on later on. Same thing in this game against Barcelona, right? He rested some of our best player against Burnley, given it's Burnley. We didn't look good, but we got 2 points, right? Right? And then we played Barcelona and Arsenal. Both games, our strongest lineup. He made one change, right, from Barcelona to Arsenal, right? And then because you exert so much energy in those games, come Leeds, you don't have a right back. So you started Trev at right back, which
That's my
means
point.
you have to play Tosin as centre back, because you migrated the centre back to right back. And because you have Trev at right back, Trev does not have the chemistry with Esteval in front of him.
To
So
overlap or underlap.
the passes of Trev to Esteval were not like
Connected,
zipped
they
into
were
him, like
they
Gusto
overplay,
or Rhys
underplay.
James,
Yeah.
which allowed the Leeds defender to get onto Esteval each and every time.
Yep.
And then Trev could not go underlap or overlap Esteval to give him help. So that kills the chemistry, because the manager decided for Barcelona and Arsenal, I need my strongest lineup at the expense of any game before or the game after. When I have to now you have to find, okay, where am I gonna rest them? Because I had to, they all had to be on the pitch against Barcelona and Arsenal.
Robert,
But,
stick up in really
because
quickly. Robert Marshall was the same one who backed my point, which says, how are you going into a game against Leeds without a natural right back? Robert proved everything I was trying to say. Continue.
And so that's so if I remain adamant, if we had played, so from Arsenal we played Barcelona on Tuesday. We had Arsenal on Sunday. Right? One change, right? I will go to my graves believing if we had played Leeds that Sunday and not Arsenal, he would have made 6 changes.
Yeah.
Not one. He would have made more than one change if we were playing Leeds. So for me, it's a flaw in Maresca's way of thinking, that these games are more important than these games. These 3 points is more important than these 3 points. A great performance in this game is more important than a great performance in these smaller games, right? And so he sacrifices the game around the big games to perform well in the big games. And I'm not begrudging him to be performing in the big games, but 3 points is 3 points is 3 points is 3 points. 3 points against Burnley were the same as 3 points against Arsenal.
So work the same.
It was the same as 3 points against Leeds. 3 points is 3 points is 3 points. You cannot just jeopardize and put at risk 3 points against Burnley, Leeds, and Bournemouth because you're trying to chase 3 points against Arsenal.
The thing is, like, I get where you're coming from, and I don't disagree, but I think it lacks a little bit of context. And that's why I also think, like, Javon, I don't think he proved your point, really. Because if, let's just say for the sake of argument, right? James plays at Barcelona, right? He plays that game against Barcelona. We know he can't manage. We need to manage his minutes. We need to be careful with his minutes. But he also plays against Arsenal. I think most of us were pretty happy to see Reece James in that midfield. We were happy to see him in the lineup and that we were going to play him for these two important games. We were up for it. We wanted to win. We were it would have put us 3 points behind Arsenal in first. If James doesn't play that game, I think most of us throw a fit about it. But then James is available for Leeds. My problem with the Leeds game isn't the fact that you rotated the side and that maybe it's the vision that Robert is saying that this game is more important than that, than Maresca might view it. And maybe he does. My problem is when you go up against Leeds, you bring in Tosin and you start Tosin, who has been a detriment to you, and you still play Chalobah, but you decide to put him at right back. So when you go forward, you have the three center backs, right? Acheampong is on the bench for you, brother. The Brighton game, everyone played horrible, including him. But outside of that, Acheampong has shown you so many times. He even came out in that press conference and said, "I regret not playing Acheampong."
Yeah, but here's a but
So it's a selection for me, not necessarily the rotation.
But if you look at the same scenario, Reece James didn't have to play in midfield. He could have played Andre Santos. I forgot Andre Santos
Javon,
taking
in that
performances.
game, Javon, in that game against Leeds,
I'm
just real quick to give you more context too. In that game against Leeds, it's Tosin who gives the hospital pass to Enzo Fernandez, which leads to one of the goals, the tie.
No, I hear that. Tosin shouldn't be in this club. I'm just talking about the rotation scenario.
And it's also his mistakes that takes the wins out of us coming back.
So Marshall, I think my point, my grab with that is this. Why? Okay, I'm just gonna remove Josh because I don't think she trusts Josh Acheampong.
I think
right?
it's a trust thing for him, for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna remove Josh out of the equation, right?
Sure.
My point is, why is it that against Leeds we have no available right back?
Yeah, that's my
because
point.
you decide to overcompensate for those two right backs against Barcelona and against
And remember again
against Arsenal.
When
don't
Andre
have
Santos
a
came
viable
on in
right
the
back.
middle of the park, my point to keep to this scenario, when Andre Santos came on in the middle of the park against Arsenal, you could see the level of performance when he's playing beside Caicedo. Reece James didn't have to play in midfield there. Yes, he did his thing. And I know I'm completely omitting the red card. But what I'm saying is you could have utilized Andre Santos in one of those games to free up that natural right back for Leeds is what I'm saying. Because I get it. Joshua Chempang is a bit young. There's trust issues there. But there's other solutions. And like you said, but what we were talking about, why is and I almost call this man Tiempo. Why is Tosin starting at all? Why is he here at all, bro? And you saw what happens when you saw what happened today when Acheampong came back to the squad. He's better 1v1, he has recovery pace, and he can put on a good tackle. I'm holding up fingers. Sorry, my camera didn't catch. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like and you guys are right, the decision making by Maresca has been extremely questionable though so far this season.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I would agree with you guys, but the whole point of your argument, you excluded Acheampong. The reality is, he's there. And we just blame different things because you guys say how he managed those situations and where he's managing or prioritizing games versus other games, whereas he should be prioritizing all of them equally. I get that. But I think the biggest issue is you had a right back option for the Leeds game that started this bleeding. and you have trust issues where you prefer your experienced players versus your young ones. And I think Maresca, you're given a young squad. You have to do this. You have to rotate. You have to use it.
The reason I made watching Josh a Champong is because I just went with the two right back that he trusts. That I know for a fact he trusts already.
But that's the problem, is that he doesn't trust them, even though.
But that's the point. That's the point.
It's a big problem, and it's a big red flag for Maresca.
He doesn't trust Josh. He doesn't trust Santos. Doesn't trust Hato. He doesn't trust Bonanote.
Bro, when was the last time Tariq George played?
I'm not really proponent of Tariq George, but
I'm just saying, it's another one too that he disappeared.
He doesn't trust the squad.
Yeah.
Today he didn't even trust Esteval to come on. And that's Esteval.
Yeah, Maresca has trust issues.
He puts Gittins as right wing. Gittins is right wing.
Yeah, he doesn't trust Esteval. He has trust issues. I don't know who cheated on this man in the past.
I've been telling people this. You don't get too excited about Kenda. Because you're going to get overhyped about Quenda. And he's going to get here. And Maresca's going to treat him exactly the same. He's going to take him by the season. But it's, oh no, sell Neto, bring Quenda in. No.
Don't work like that, brother.
Quenda's not going to come here and hit the ground running. Because we know Esteval is the wonder kid, and Maresca does not even trust him yet. Right? Maresca is closer to Tuchel than we imagine.
100%. I agree with 100%. That.
He's closer to Tuchel. Like, the only difference is that Maresca agrees to work under this model. But he doesn't trust young players the same way Tuchel doesn't. Right? Unless you are elite of the elite, like young player, obviously, Caicedo, still young players, Enzo, Cole Palmer. Unless you like top levels, then they will trust you. But if, that's why Tuchel went and got the Sterlings and the Aubameyang and the Koulibalys and all these old geezers to come and play. And not,
crazy. Jesus is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way for me, as much as I read Cucurella, there's no way for me that you couldn't tell me that 2 or 3 games running that you couldn't play Hato as
give him a rest.
as left back to rest Cucurella.
His performances have dropped.
Exactly, because you're running and
rest him. He's
and
tired.
That's my point. But now it's too late. You can't bring Hato in now. Now it's too late.
Mistakes.
We wanted to rotate them so that right now Cucurella is more fresh. When it gets thick and fast, Cucurella is fresh. Andrew Santos is there. We wanted him to rotate more so that Caicedo and Enzo are fresh at this time, right? The wingers, Esteban is there so that Neto, right now, right here, can be fresh, right? We shouldn't be like. We are the only club where I keep hearing people telling me, our players are running in the red. Like, how? Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, all are playing 2 games a week. Why is there one player that are all in the red? I know we got a couple injury-prone players, but why is Cucurella not injury-prone? Enzo Fernandez, not injury-prone. Caicedo, not injury-prone. Right? Joao Pedro, not injury-prone. Malo Gusto, not injury-prone. Why are they constantly in the red and that they need constant rest? I don't see Timber getting constant rest. Right? I don't see Declan Rice getting constant rest. Right? I don't see Zubamendi, who's new to this league, slow as well, getting, But again, I know they look legged, right? Our players, but it's just the way Maresca, in a way, the things he asks our players to do again, and this is part of what I'm rating in big games because we are a team that runs a lot.
Yeah. Especially when we have
for the sake of running. But when we face those big teams, we will outrun PSG. We will outrun Barcelona. We will outrun Bayern Munich.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. The last topic before we gotta go. Enzo Fernandez. Thoughts on Enzo Fernandez? Do you think he just needs a break, or because his performances has dropped as well?
He's been used and abused.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Listen, one thing I got to get off my chest about Enzo Fernandez, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans need to do this as well. This idea that he's £100 million player and all this and that, let go of it. He's never ever going to be the £100 million player that we wanted him to be. Maybe we'll see some generational performance down the line. But as far as I'm aware, in this system, with the way we're using him and the way expectations that fans have, I gave up on that idea that he's gonna pay us back for that £100 million price tag. Who knows? And maybe he can if we win titles and stuff like that. But until that happens, he's never gonna live up to it. Moises Caicedo barely does. Okay, so there's that. If you look at the last how many games in a row now, Enzo Fernandez has played
Every single one.
every single one of them, every single minute.
90 minutes.
Today, thank God he got taken off because he was horrible. Don't get me wrong, he was horrible. But I also understand he's had 0 breaks in this whole entire time. And at some point, and this is the thing, like, Robert, I know you play ball. Javon, I know you coach, and I know you used to play ball. I played ball too. It's not just about physicality. It's not just about
mentality
physicality.
too. Sometimes
Mentality gets
Sometimes you're
exhausted
just
too.
tired, bro.
And people don't want to accept that. People arguing with me like, well, all these games that he's played, that shouldn't affect his touch. What do you mean? It does affect your touch.
What do you mean?
Do you understand how
But
hard it is to professionally touch a ball under pressure? Go outside right now, throw a soccer ball in the air, and see if you could do a one-touch easy. It's not easy.
When it's coming down.
Yeah, it's not easy. You got to practice that over and over and over again. These men are professionals. They've been doing this their whole lives. You don't think they know how to do an easy touch? They do. They're tired mentally and physically. It gets exhausting.
And emotionally.
So like, until if this is what I told people, give him a break, and if he still plays like shit after the break, then I agree with you. But if he plays up and he turns up, shut up about Enzo already.
This man had no preseason, right? He's played
That's
pretty
also
much
true.
every game, 90 minutes. Even when we played Lincoln City, Caicedo got rested. Enzo had to play, right?
Internationally too,
Again,
Robert.
people like to do too much on Enzo Fernandez because I've come to realize that the more I go back and forth with people on Enzo Fernandez, the more I realize who actually plays ball and who doesn't. Who just looks at stats and looks at heat maps
Thank you.
and look at SofaScore
Thank you so much.
and FB refs and say he was crap or he's not good enough. If you play football and you actually watch what Enzo Fernandez does on that pitch, even when he's poor, right? There was a reason, again, I'm going to go, it might contradict myself a little bit. There's a reason Maresca would rather play a tired Enzo Fernandez over a fresh Andrew Santos. There's a reason. Because what he does is not just on the ball. Enzo Fernandez's job is basically to to be all over the pitch all at once, right? To recognize that Garnacho is out of position, I need to go and be a winger for 5 seconds, right? To keep the defense honest. Against Bournemouth, Gusto's going to the 10, I gotta go be a right back for a minute, right? Against Liverpool, Caicedo is moving with the ball, trying to go and score. I gotta go back and be a DM for a little bit, right? Oh, Esteban is moving inward and trying to get a shot. I gotta go overlap him and be a winger and be the touchdown guy. Now and he has to recognize every one of these positions, everywhere on the pitch, and go and make sure that he is a cover for everybody, right? And so, for people that don't know and that
While
don't play
passing the ball properly, his
people
best
that don't
attribute.
know and don't play football just look at the ball, just look at pass completion rate, just look at how many chances did he create. Oh, look at his heat map, look at his SofaScore. And there's a reason why Maresca said after we conceded the first goal, we lost control of the game. What happened after we conceded the first goal? Enzo went off the pitch. Even when it was bad, right? We were still controlling that game with Enzo on the pitch.
Can I
Right?
can I
He
tell
takes him
you?
off, The control limit. We have Caicedo. We have the fantastic Rhys James. All of them in there. Better than Enzo Fernandez according to everybody. But we could not control the midfield because Enzo Fernandez got taken off the pitch.
Can I tell you a fun fact? I just looked it up. It's actually worse than I thought. Ever since we come back from international break in November, today's game is the only game where Enzo did not play 90 minutes.
Yep.
So now tell me, is he tired or not? Because, like, to me, you try playing one 90-minute game.
In that level of football.
You the casual, try playing a half of football at that level. Now do it. And not to mention, like, he actually was able to rest a little bit during that international break. Thank goodness, because he could have been dropping these. Yeah, during the November one, because he was out with the injury, he didn't actually go.
The second game,
again, he also had the injury.
He played the first game. He didn't play the second.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So he even played a game during international break when he was slightly injured. Like, it's just so obvious to me because players don't just disappear they don't just die like that. It just doesn't happen for no reason. There's a reason to it. So, like, 90 minutes. At least Caicedo gets taken off for a little bit. At least he gets a little bit of rotation. Enzo Fernandez, like, listen, I understand. I'm not excusing the performances, right? Like, you have to be better. But at the same time,
we lost. Yeah.
Like, we need to rest this guy because you could tell he is exhausted. Because he's the one that's always, he's the engine. He's always the one running. He's always the one, sweating bullets on the pitch. And when he's not doing that anymore, that says a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah. Like I said, all the players are in the red line. But we're going to wrap the show here. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Sideline View. We'll continue next week with a more in-depth discussion. I might have a fourth panelist next week. Marshall, let the people know where they can find you.
In a cave, locked away until Chelsea decide to turn away their form.
And then we'll be back in the title race.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, Casually FC on all platforms, Twitter and YouTube. Gonna have a show tomorrow. We're gonna go over some news, try to take our minds off of this game, maybe speak a little bit on the game, to be honest, a little more to see how we feel the next day. But a lot of content planned. It's nonstop until we hit the next international break in February.
End of
December.
Robert, let them know where they can find you.
I'm on Twitter as always. Playback is shutting down, so I'm usually on playback, but playback is going away. So we'll see what happens where I go. But I'll be on Don's
Welcome to
channel.
YouTube, Robert.
I'll be on Don's channel. I'll be with Chairs. I might hop on with something with CB, but
see you, Robert.
See you,
Robert. I gave you life in this YouTube space, so you're just selling me out. He's on everywhere, bro. Today I was on Dan Hussam's channel, and I brought you up. I said Robert was the only one who probably thought we could win the league this season if it was down to Maresca. So listen, Robert, when you make it, man, remember your boy Javon. That's all I want to say.
No, I won't.
Damn.
People, regard, bless up, like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Foul on the plate.